Everyone is building some kind of foundation. There are only two options in the building process. There are the shallow or the solid. So we're to go to verses 13 and 14. We'll deal with two gates, the broad and the narrow. So we'll go to verses 15 through 20. We will deal with the good trees or the good fruit and the bad fruit. There are really only two options that we really have.
The 38th chapter there in verse number 17 through 20. You find Isaiah the 38th chapter here. Verse number 17 through 20. Amen. Let it be known by the usual sign of praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. If you don't have it, holler away. Hallelujah. It says, behold, for peace I had great bitterness, but thou hast in love my soul delivered it from the pit of corruption, for thou hast cast all my sins behind thy back. For the grave cannot praise thee, death cannot celebrate thee. They that go down into the pit cannot hope for thy truth. The living, he shall praise thee, as I do this day. The Father of the children shall make known thy truth. The Lord was ready to save thee, therefore we will sing my song and be what? Strange instruments all the days of who? Whereat? Amen. We'll talk to you for a few moments about the steps of a rescued saint. Steps of a rescued saint. Steps of a rescued saint. If you had to write your life or put it into a song, what would your song say? Or what would be the title of your book? Highly Effective, Pursuing God, Real for Jesus, or Walking in My Calling, or Quit Too Soon, or I'm going to turn back on life. I was just thinking, and I wrote down some things. If I had the opportunity to write some songs, to write some books, I thought of some of those titles that might enhance what I've been through in life. And I thought for a moment that if you had the opportunity to write a book or to write a song, what would be the title of your book? What would be the title of your song? And I know that there are multiple artists that are out there. Maybe you are familiar with a few of them. Maybe you know a songwriter called Barry White. Otis Redding. Wilson Pickett. Or maybe Chuck Berry. Maybe you know Dr. Dre. Usher. Luther Vandross. TLC. Maybe you know Jay-Z or Beyonce. Maybe you know Ludacris. Maybe you know Black Eyed Peas or even Lil Wayne. Maybe you know Garth Brooks. Faith Evans. I don't know, but I'm under this impression all of those artists, when they write songs, they write them based upon life's experiences. And I wonder if we had the opportunity and the time for you to write your song, what would you put in the pages of your song? If you were able to equate your life and put it into some type of words that could be later capsized in some type of volume that we could read later, 20, 30, 40, 50 years later, what would you put in time capsule of life that would really define who you are right now? Looking back as to life, as to where you are at right now in the processes that you had to go through to get to where you are at right now, what would you write? What would your life tell you about who you really are. Always easy to sing some of those artist songs that I made mention of. But what would you say? I was to ask you that are sitting there looking at me like a deer in headlights. What would you write? What would you say? And I often think about things like that. What would somebody say about my life? What would they say about your life? If they were to write a song about you, those that think they know you, have been close to you, have participated in events and things with you, and seen you grow up, seen you go from a little child to now a young adult, or maybe to an adult, what would they say about you? Say about you? What would they write about you? I don't know, but what would be the arrangement of the song that you would write about your life? Well, what are you talking about, preacher? What are the 4 things that you would do when it comes to writing a song? First thing you got to figure out, what would you write about? Second thing is, you got to get a chord progression. Next thing you would need to do is get some kind of great melody or rhythm. Then you'll need to add some lyrics to all that stuff. Is that kind of what you would kind of do? For some of you still want to be MC rappers at the age of 52. Just thought I'd let you know a little insight on what you need to do for composing a song. I thought about it. What would I write about? What would be relevant in my life? What would be the core to the verses of my life? What kind of melody, what kind of rhythm would I have? Would it be a slow beat? Fast beat? Would it be a rap? Would it be a love song? Wonder then how could I put all the lyrics of my life to the songs of my life? And here we have the opportunity of looking over the life of Hezekiah. Hallelujah. On his discovery about life from death. Besides some kind of way to put it in a song. Besides that, I got to write some stuff about my life. Good as God has been. I just want to write a song. I just want to give some type of expression or gratitude of what only God can do. And I don't know, but sometimes I have the tendency to take a journey back over my life, and I am truly amazed how I've gotten to this point in life. It's beyond my imagination, but how God, like the God we serve, would be so kind and so merciful for me when I have been the exact opposite of what He's given to me. It just blows my mind when I sit back and I equate things that I have that I should have never gotten. The things that I'm now possessing, I never was able to even think about holding on to. Now God has given me some things. My expressions of gratitude is not a direct indication of my real gratitude towards God. Things that I receive are really not the true expressions of how good God's been. And I know I'm not the only one. I know you sit here right now looking at me talking about I've got some things, but I have not been very expressive in the gratitude of the things that God has given. It's not a hoop-hop message. I'm really, because of this fast, I am reaching for energy. Hallelujah. If you sit there with me, we'll walk through this thing. But if you help me, we'll get through this thing. So all I'm trying to get us to see is there needs to be some type of expression for the things that God has given us. And regardless, and I've got to say this to myself, I'm preaching to myself because I don't need you talking back to me. That I've got to find a way to express my gratitude. Because of what I feel in my body should not hinder the expressions that I should be able to offer unto a God that has been so kind to me. Hezekiah in this text blesses my socks off. Because here is a man that has looked death in the face. Hallelujah. He's even got the word from God that death is just around the corner. There's an expression of not allowing death to finally not knock on the door, but open the door and come on in. He realizes that God has now shut the door. Maybe I'm preaching to myself, but if you ever have looked death in the face, you've ever been in a car accident, or never been strung out on dope, if you've ever done some things that should have warranted death, but because of the mercy of God, He has closed the door on death. And if He's ever done any of those things in your life, there ought to be some type of expression of gratitude. You have to understand, I don't mean to bore you, I don't mean to keep you long, but you have to understand that Hezekiah was a good king. Probably was the best king that ever ruled Judah. And you have to read some of the things that maybe I got a little time. Let me take you to 2 Kings, the 18th chapter. That Hezekiah done some things. He was a good king. He was an outstanding king. If you were to read 2 Kings, the 18th chapter, you will discover that he removed the high places and broke the images and tore down all of the golden serpent statues that Moses had allowed to be erected.